Imagine this. It's 3 a.m. You're awake, staring at the ceiling. The world is quiet, but your mind is loud. You've been running the same loop for years. School, a degree, a job, bills. It's safe, predictable, but it's not enough. You feel it, don't you? That itch for something more.
There's something more.
This is life for so many of us. We follow the script. Wake up, work, pay the bills, maybe unwind on weekends. It's a cycle that feels endless. But here's the question. Is this all there is? For some, this routine is fine. For others, you watching this, it's a cage. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to live. Let's talk about why breaking free feels so hard. Science has an answer.
I should also study my cock in science class because it defies nature.
Your brain loves safety. It's wired for it. There's a part called the amygdala, your internal alarm system. It scans for threats and screams, "Stay put," when you think about change. That's your comfort zone, a neurological cozy corner where everything's familiar. But here's the catch. The longer you stay there, the smaller it gets. Neuroscience shows that avoiding challenges reinforces old patterns. Skip a tough conversation or a new project, and your brain digs that rut deeper. Stepping out? That's where growth lives. It's uncomfortable. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance, but that discomfort is your brain rewiring itself. So why don't we leap? Fear of failure. It's not really the fall that scares us. It's the thought of people watching us stumble. Studies in psychology show this is ego-driven. We're terrified of looking foolish. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the enemy. It's the teacher. Behavioral economics backs this up with something called loss aversion. We're programmed to fear losing more than we crave winning. That's why risks feel like cliffs. But think about it. What's the real loss? Staying still, never knowing what could have been. That's the bigger gamble. Now imagine flipping the script.
We'll try it out for a week. End of the week comes. If you're unhappy, we'll flip a coin to see who moves out.
Psychologist Carol Dweck talks about the growth mindset, seeing challenges as chances to learn, not threats to your worth. Failure? It's just data. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb on his first try. He failed thousands of times. Each flop was a step closer to brilliance. So how do you start? Small. Your comfort zone won't vanish overnight, but it can stretch. Say yes to something that scares you. Maybe a new skill, a bold idea, even asking for help. Each move builds momentum. Science shows that small wins release dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, making the next step easier. Picture your dream, whatever it is. Between you and that goal are two things: the work and your doubts. The work, you'll figure it out. A musician practices scales. An entrepreneur tests ideas. The doubts, that's where you fight. Tell yourself, I'll learn as I go, because you will. Failure will happen. You'll trip, mess up, feel dumb sometimes. I've been there. Months of ideas that went nowhere before this video even existed. But every stumble taught me something. In a year, you'll look back and see those falls as the foundation of your success. Let's get real. The path isn't smooth. It's messy, scary, and worth it. An old proverb says, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." You're not here to drift. You're here to navigate storms. So what's holding you back? The fear of judgment? The unknown? That unknown is where your story begins. Stand at the edge of what you know. Feel your heart race. That's not just fear, it's excitement. Your brain's waking up. Take one step. Doesn't have to be giant. Just move. Try that thing you've been avoiding. Speak up. Start. The first step's the hardest, but it's also the most powerful. Science proves it. Action beats inertia every time. In a few years, you'll sit back, not at 3 a.m. wondering what if, but proud, knowing you dared. You'll see that the risks you took, the times you fell and got up, shaped you into someone unstoppable. This is your shot. Life's too short to stay small. Step out. Fall if you must. Rise stronger. Your future's waiting, and it's bigger than you can imagine. So what's your first step? Take it today. You've got this.